Mr. Cole here, and today's topic is point-slope form. So our goal for today is, we have three of them. We're going to use slope and point to graph. Our second goal is we're going to write linear equations in point-slope format. And then our third goal is to, we're going to have 2 points that we're going to use to write an equation. And for today, our California standards is Algebra 6.0 and 7.0. Alright, first off, we're going to go ahead and use a slope and point to graph. Now this one's going to seem pretty easy just because we have our necessary information. So let's just start off with this. Here's my basic graph. I know, quite small, but you don't really need it much. So we're going to go ahead and graph point 1, 1. So basically, we're going to go over 1, up 1. Okay? And since we have our point, and we know our slope, all we're going to have to do is just take the slope, which now we've learned that we can just make into a fraction, and that is our rise over our run. And so we can do this. That goes up and right. So if I go up from this point, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then over 1, you're going to have a point. And I made this graph way too small right here. So you're going to have a graph somewhere about right there. So let's go ahead and draw this line like so. Alright, and that's it. You're going to graph that using the slope and the point. Let's do another one. Alright, so this is 2, -2, so let's go ahead and do this. And hopefully that'll make a better graph than the other one. Or at least it's not going to mess up too much. Alright, so first off, let's go ahead and graph our 2, -2. So let's go with 1, 2, and then down 1, 2. So we have a point right here. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and follow the slope. Our slope is -1. We're going to go ahead and create that as a rise over run, so just put a 1 underneath it. And that's going to be -1 over 1, so we're going to go down 1 from here. So down 1, and then we're going to 1 to the right. So down 1 and 1 to the right. So down 1 and right there. So that is our graph of that line right there. Alright? Quite simple. Alright, so now let's go ahead and do the second goal, and which is we're going to write equations in point-slope format. So this one is a very simple plug and play. Now if you notice, we have the same type of numbers. Here we have a slope of -4 and we have a point of 1, 5. We're going to go ahead and put it into this particular point-slope format. So all we need to do here is we're going to go ahead and just plug in. So this, let's first off make sure that we understand what our things that we're plugging in are. That's your y. And then this is your x. Alright, let's just go ahead and fill in. So I have my y minus, and we always want to keep things in parentheses if we need to. So let's go ahead and put our y1, which is 5, equal. And then we have our slope, so let's go ahead and put our slope in, which is -4. And then x minus, and then our x1 is right here, or 1. Okay? And then we can finish this up. So it's going to look like y minus 5 is equal to -4x, and then plus 4. And then this is our point-slope form. Alright, let's move on. Now, here we have 2 points, and we want to write an equation using just these 2 points. So we're going to, first of all, use a slope formula. Then we're going to put it into point-slope form. And then from point-slope form, it's real simple from here to get to the slope-intercept form. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that from here. So first off, let's go ahead and take our numbers, and let's go ahead and just call this our set 1, and this is our set 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and put it first of all in our slope formula. Our slope formula is that y1 minus y2 over x1 over x2. So let's go ahead and subtract that. So here is our y1, y2. So let's do negative 2 minus 10 over, and then take 1 minus 3. And this is going to give us our slope. So that's going to give us negative 12 over negative 2. So our slope for this is actually going to be positive, and it's going to be positive 6. Alright, now our next step here is we're going to go and use our point slope formula. So I'm going to just go ahead and use the point slope formula that we had from before. So it starts off with y minus, and we're going to go ahead and take any one of our points and just substitute the x and the y for it. So let's take this one because it looks pretty easy. So our y here is going to be negative 2, and then equals, and we know our slope is now 6, x minus, and since we took the negative 2 from this particular point, let's use the same one. So we're going to go ahead and minus 1. And now we have that point slope form right here. And we're going to go ahead and solve that out just a little bit. So here we have y, and a minus minus gives us a plus 2, is equal to 6x minus 6. Now we have this particular point slope format. We're going to change it real quickly into the slope-intercept form. And just to do that is you just have a real basic simple thing, which is I need to make the y isolated, so it just needs to be right here. So all I'm going to do here is just to do one real quick simple thing, which is subtract 2. Subtract 2. And then we are now at our y, our y is isolated, and now we are at our slope-intercept form. So y is equal to 6x, and then negative 6 minus 2 gives us minus 8. And that is our answer to that particular question. Alright, let's try another one. Okay, so here we have another 2 points, and let's do that again. So first off, let's go ahead and find the slope. So we're going to go ahead and take 3 minus a negative 1 over 6 minus 0. So that's going to give us 4 over 6. So our slope, after you simplify here, is going to be 2/3. Alright, so now that we have our slope, we're now going to go ahead and insert that into our point slope formula. So here we have our y minus, and then we're going to go ahead and take any one of these points. And I know the first one I took this one, so let's go ahead and take this one. So that's going to be our y, which is negative 1. So that's going to be minus 1 is equal to, where our slope is 2/3. And then x minus, and then 1, which is 0. So, and then let's solve. So here, let's rewrite y plus 1 is equal to 2/3 x, and 2/3 times 0 is just 0. So that's our final answer here as our point slope form. And then we're going to do one final thing, which is to make it into the slope-intercept form, and that is to just get rid of this plus 1 by subtracting 1 so we can isolate that x. Oops. So here, our final answer is going to be y is equal to 2/3 x minus 1. Alright, if you need more information or you would like to catch up on any past lessons, you can follow me on www.youtube.com/user/TycoDad. And of course our Chuck Norris fact for today is when cops pull Chuck Norris over, they try to talk their way out of it. Thanks a lot.